camera cut off, of course. Okay. Where are we? So we just read that, what was his name? A Levite. I don't know if they mentioned his name. He became the priest. And some people were trying to journey, and they said, ask the Lord if it'll be okay. But he said it'll be okay, but I don't remember him. It don't say that he asked the Lord. Okay, anywho. And the 5 men departed and came to Laish and saw people who were there, how they lived in security, after the manner of the Sidonians, quiet and unsuspecting, lacking nothing that is in the earth and possessing wealth. How they were far from the Sidonians, and had no dealings with anyone. When they came to their brothers at Zorah and Eshtaol, their brothers said to them, what do you report? And they said, arise, let us go up against them, for we have seen the land, and behold, it is very good. And will you do nothing? Do not be slow to go, to enter in and possess the land. As soon as you go, you will come to an unsuspecting people. The land is spacious, for God has given it into your hands, a place where there is no lack of anything that is in the earth. So 600 men of the tribe of Dan, armed with weapons of war, set out from Zorah and Eshtaol, and went up and encamped at Zerath-Jearim in Judah. On this account, that place is called Mahanadan to this day. Behold, it is west of Kiriath-Jearim, and they passed on from the hill country of Ephraim, and came to the house of Micah. Then the 5 men who had gone to scout out the country of Laish said to their brothers, do you know in these houses there are an ephod, household gods, a carved image, and a metal image? Now therefore, consider what we will do. And they turned aside and came to the house of the young Levite at the home of Micah, and asked him about his welfare. Now the 600 men of Danites, armed with their weapons of war, stood by the entrance of the gate. And the 5 men who had gone to scout out the land went up and entered and took the carved image, the ephod, the household gods, the metal image, while the priest stood by the entrance of the gate with 600 men armed with weapons of war. And when these went, some things kind of trip me up and how to say things, but let me just read. And when these went into Micah's house and took the carved image and ephod and the house gods and metal images, the priest said to him, what are you doing? He said to them, keep quiet, keep your hand on your mouth, and come out with us. Be to us a father and a priest. Is it better for you to be a priest of a house of one man, or a priest of a tribe and a clan of Israel? The priest's heart was glad. He took the ephod and the household gods and carved images and went along with the people. So they turned and departed, putting the little ones and the livestock and the goods in front of them. Hold on. Okay, never mind. When they had gone a distance from the house of Micah, the men who were in the houses near Micah's house were called out, and they overtook the people of Dan. Wow. And they shouted to the people of Dan, who turned around and said to Micah, what is the matter with you, that you have come with such a company? And he said, you take my gods that I made in the priests and go away. What have I left? How then do you ask me, what is the matter with you? And the people of Dan said to him, do not let your voice be heard among us, lest angry fellows fall upon you, and you lose your life with the lives of your household. This is wild. This is really wild. And the people of Dan went their way, went their way. And when Micaiah saw that they were too strong for him, he turned and went back to his home. But the people of Dan took what Micaiah had made, and the priests who belonged to him. And they came to Laish to a people, quiet and unsuspecting, and struck them with the edge of the sword and burned the city with fire. And there was no deliverer because it was from the land of Sidon. And they had no dealings with anyone. It was in the valley that belongs to Beth Rahab. Then they rebuilt the city and lived in it. Then they named the city of Dan, after the name of Dan, their ancestor, who was born to Israel. But the name was the city of Laish. The name of the city was Laish at the first, Lord. And the people of Dan set up the carved image for themselves, and Jonathan, the son of Gershom, son of Moses, and his sons were priests to the tribe of the Danites until the day of the captivity of the land. So they set up So they set up Micaiah's carved image that he made as long as the house of God was at Shiloh. Chapter 19 is our last chapter. A Levite and his concubine. In those days, when there was no king in Israel, a certain Levite was sojourning in the remote parts of the hill country of Ephraim, who took to himself a concubine from Bethlehem in Judah. And his concubine was unfaithful to him. And she went away from him into her father's house to Judah, Bethlehem in Judah, and was there for 4 months. Then her husband arose and went after her to speak kindly to her and bring it back. So she left. So one, she was unfaithful. Then she left for 4 months. Right? 4 months. Left 4 months. Then her husband came back to talk to her kindly and told her, let's go back home. He had with him his servant and a couple of donkeys. She brought him into her father's house. When the girl's father saw him, he came with joy to meet him. His father-in-law, the girl's father, made him stay, and he remained with them 3 days. So he stayed for 3 days. Hold on, because this already is juicy. Like, this is better than any reality TV show. So she was gone for 4 months. Then her husband went, okay. So they ate and drank and spent the night there. And on the 4th day they arose early in the morning. He prepared to go, but the girl's father said to his son-in-law, strengthen your heart with a morsel of bread, and after that you may go. So the two of them sat and ate and drank together. And the girl's father said to the man, be pleased to spend the night, and let your heart be merry. And when the man rose to go, his father-in-law pressed him till he spent the night there again. Like, what is happening? And on the 5th day he arose early in the morning. The girl's father said, strengthen your heart and wait until the day declines. They ate, both of them, and when the man and his concubine and his servant rose up to depart, his father-in-law, the girl's father, said to him, behold, now the day has waned toward evening. Please spend the night. Behold, the day draws. So the daddy is obsessed. That's what I'm taking from it. So the father pleads or insists that he stays. I wonder why they don't name this man. They just call him a certain Levite. Anywho, lodge here. This is what the father said. Lodge here and let your heart be merry until tomorrow. You shall rise early in the morning for your journey and go home. But the man would not spend the night. He rose up and departed and arrived opposite Jubis, that is Jerusalem. He had with him a couple of saddled donkeys. Because he like, sir, I gotta go home. I just came for my wife. or his concubine. And his concubine was with him. When they were in Jubis, the day was nearly over, and the servant said to his master, "Come now, let us turn aside to the city, to this city of the Jebusites, and spend the night in it." And his master said to him, "We will not turn aside into the city of the foreigners who do not belong to the people of Israel, but we will pass on Gibeah. And he said to this young man, "Come and let us draw near to one of the places and spend the night at Gibeah or at Ramah." So they passed on and went their way. And the sun went down near Gibeah, which belongs to Benjamin. And I turned aside there to go in and spend the night at Gibeah. And he went in and sat down. "Lord, give me the strength to fight whatever shall come upon me that makes me not finish." And sat down in the open square of the city, for no one took them into his house to spend the night. And behold, an old man was coming from his work in the field at evening. The man was from the hill country of Ephraim, and he was sojourning in Gibeah. The men of the place were were the Benjamites. And he lifted up his eyes and saw the traveler in the open square of the city. And the old man said, "Where are you going? Where do you come from?" And he said to him, "We are passing from Bethlehem in Judah to the remote parts of the hill country of Ephraim, from which I come. I went to Bethlehem in Judah, and I am going to the house of the Lord, but no one has taken me into his house. We have straw and feed our donkeys. We have straw and feed for our donkeys with bread and wine for me and your female servant and the young man with the servants. There is no lack of anything." And the old man said, "Peace be to you." Oh Lord, please. "Oh, I will care for all your wants. Only do not spend the night in the square." Watch that happens. So he brought him into the house and he gave him the donkey's feed. Whew. And they washed their feet and ate and drank. Gibeah's crying. As they were making their hearts merry, behold, the men of the city, worthless fellows, surrounded the house, beating on the door. And they said to the old man, "The master of this house, bring out the man who came into your house, that we may know him." And the man, the master of the house, went out to them and said to them, and one thing that I do want to point out, the word master is so different from what it is now, okay? The master of the house is just the head of the house. Now we see master as the head who puts other people down. He was just the master. He was the owner. He was the lead of the house. Okay. So this is what the master said. "No, my brothers, do not act so wickedly. Since this man has come into my house, do not do this. Do not do this foul thing. Behold, here are my virgin daughters and concubine. Let me bring them out. Violate." I'm assuming that this word, like the word master, means something different. "Violate them and do with them that seems good to you. But against this man do not do outrageous thing." So the man would not listen to him. The man seized his concubine and made her go out to them. And they knew and abused her all night into the morning. What in the world? What is happening? That's not okay. That's crazy. Until morning? It's like, wow. And as the dawn began to break, they let her go. And as morning appeared, the woman came and fell down at the door of the man's house, where her master was, until it was light. Jesus. And her master came, rose up in the morning, and he opened the doors of the house, and he went out to go on his way. Behold, there was a concubine laying at the door. with her hands on the threshold, he said to her, "Get up, let us be going." But there was no answer. "Don't tell me she died." Then he put her on his donkey, and the man rose up and went away to his home. Okay, never mind. And when he entered his house, he took a knife and taking hold of his concubine and divided her, limb by limb, into 12 pieces, and sent her throughout all the territory of Israel. And all who saw it said, "Such a thing has never happened or been seen from the day that the people of Israel came up out of the land of Egypt until this day. Consider it, take counsel, and speak." What is happening here? What is happening right now? This is some Freaky Friday. He divided her into 12 pieces. My Lord. Limb by limb? That's some wicked stuff. I don't know. That's what the word says. I don't know what I was supposed to get from that, but let me try to get something from it. I don't know. That was crazy. What stood out to me the most about this reading? I think what really stood out to me was the Samson and Delilah. Delilah was a seducer. She was a trickster, okay? And she learned that she didn't learn. He gave her his secret, and she used it against him. But it said in the word that his soul was vexed. So I really, I want to know what that's about. And can our soul, well, I'm not saying can, because I'm pretty sure it can, but when has my soul ever been vexed? Let's see what vexed means, actually. Vexed. To be vexed. Either disputed, difficult, and much debated, problematic, annoyed, frustrated. Oh, so he couldn't stand it anymore. He should have just left her. And who am I to tell him what to do, right? Like, girl, get your own life together. Get your own life together before you try to tell somebody else what to do. Bible view. Let's look up what the Hebrew definition of vexed means. Where is it? Okay. Okay. Oh Lord. Please, why is this being so difficult? So vexed means to be short, impatient, grieved, discouraged. So it sounds like he was just tired of her asking those questions. We could tell that this word has a negative connotation to it. He was impatient. So where in my life am I being impatient? Because when you're impatient, you can settle for things. No, maybe not that. I'm gonna have to think on this a little bit more. Okay. Father God, if there's something that you want me to learn from that word, I ask that you give me the revelation. Please protect me and my family and my husband, my future husband. Protect our dreams tonight, Father. Don't allow the enemy to sneak up in any way, shape, or form and make covenants with us that are not of you, Father. So please, Lord, if there's something you want to tell us, I ask that you send us a dream to where we can't deny that it was you. In Jesus' mighty name, I ask for your protection. And amen. That's about it.